All right, this is 11.6, 15 through 20. Okay, hopefully that is going well. Remember, you're checking your answers, and if you're not sure what you did with an answer, just go to that particular problem and check it, and then you get to move on for that next section. Now, find the volume of each sphere. Give each answer in terms of pi and round it to the nearest cubic unit. So we're going to do terms of pi and to the nearest cubic unit. That's two answers on each one of these. Let's give ourselves some room. And remember, volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Every time, use the formula. I've got people out there going, oh, I don't need to use a formula. Yet they're plugging in the wrong numbers. They're not plugging in all the numbers because they're not making the formula run them. First thing, radius is 9 because I've got a diameter of 18. So I got 4/3 pi 9 cubed. Okay, now inside my calculator, if I can get my calculator up, I got 4 times 9 cubed. Okay, and that's going to be divided by, excuse me, I want to delete that. I got arrow out, divided by 3. Now, this will give me 972 pi. That's 972 pi, and this is millimeters cubed. Now, I'm going to finish this out and go, all right, now I'm going to multiply that by pi. In my other answers, so I've got 3053, 3054, because you want it to the nearest. Let's try that again. 3054 to the nearest unit, cubic unit. So those are my two volumes I've got for this, according to what they asked me to do. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is 16. 16 is all set up. I'm going to get some of this 15 out of the way. In 16, I have volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi 5 cubed. Now, that's going to be 500 pi over 3. I got some people going, how in the world? So we're going to be looking at 5 raised to the 3rd power, which is 125, okay, times 4, which is 500, okay, divided by 3. Now we do that, and it's 166.667. But if we're going to leave it in terms of pi, it's really 500 pi over 3. Now, I'm going to take that number, multiply by pi, so times pi, and I have 523.59875. And it's rounded to the nearest, I've got, get my calculator back up, rounded to the nearest is 524. Yards cubed, and this is also yards cubed. And those are my volumes that I need. Okay, now again, same thing. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi 3 cubed. It's 27 divided by 3, which is 9. 9 times 4 is 36 pi. And just to make sure y'all see that, I'm looking at that 3 raised to the 3rd power is 27, and that's times 4 divided by 3, not 6, 3 divided by 3. Okay, so that's going to give us a 36 pi, so I multiply by pi times my answer, and I hit it. I got 113, so The nearest unit is 113, and we are in meters cubed for both of these answers, so it's volume there. Okay, going on to our next set. We're looking at 8. I've got R is 10. Okay, I'm looking at 8, R is 10. So now I got V is 4/3 pi R cubed. Okay, so now I'm looking at a 10 cubed with the 1,000, so I have 4,000 pi over 3. Now, I can put that in my calculator again. I get my calculator back up, bring this back over. I can grab it. Okay, and remember, 10 to the 3rd power is 1,000. 1,000 times 4 is 4,000. So I have 4,000 times pi, and I'm going to divide that by 3. And I get 4188. So this equals, didn't check, 4189 actually. 4189 because I was supposed to round to the nearest unit. Okay, and those are my answers for volume. And I'm going to minimize these. Oop, let's get that in there, bring that down. Hey, it looks like it was in there. Now, this next one's interesting. The next two, they say, hey, you got a surface area of 16 pi, find the volume. There's no direct way to find volume from surface area unless you solve for R. So surface area, SA, remember, is 4 pi R squared. So SA is 16 pi. So I get to divide by pi, and I also get to divide by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So now I know R is 2. Now I get to use that into volume equals 4/3 pi R cubed, where that becomes 2. Now that's 2 to the third power, which is 8. So I've got 8 times 4, which is 32 pi over 3 centimeters cubed. And now I get to pop that in my calculator. So I've got 32 second pi divided by 3, and I hit enter, and I get 33.51, which is rounded up to 34, because I'm supposed to do the nearest units, 34 centimeters cubed. Now, keep in mind, it's not always the nearest unit. Sometimes it'll be the 10th, sometimes it'll be the 100th, but you gotta know which one's which. And that's why we have the different ones. Same idea here. I got 64 pi. I start out with surface area equal 4 pi R squared. I plug 64 pi in for SA. I got 4 pi R squared. I divide by 4, so I got 16 pi equal pi R squared. Divide by pi, 16 is R squared, so R is 4 after I take the square root of both sides. Now, volume is 4/3 pi R cubed, and R is 4. 4/3 pi 4 cubed. So 4 cubed is going to give me 64 times 4. So we're going to get this calculator pulled over, and I've got 4, really raised to the 4th power, and that's going to be 256. So here I'm sitting at my exact answer of 256 pi over 3 centimeters cubed. That's my volume, and my volume, if I just multiply that out to find my other piece of information they require me to have, I've got 256 times pi divided by 3, and that will be 268.08, but remember, I am holding on to the nearest, so 268 centimeters cubed. And that's up through 20 there, and I'm going to minimize this to get it ready for our next taping. I hope things are going well. I hope you guys are doing great. Okay, now